border gate, demanding money from them. One of the hawkers who wanted to remain anonymous for safety reasons says they are always forced to pay money, and this is unacceptable.
But now we are getting scared because we have to hide the money from the thieves, and we have to hide the money from the police, which doesn't make sense. Police are the people who they're supposed to give us security with our money, with our properties. But when we are live at the Lebomba border, it's not happening that. We have not, when you see a police coming to you, you start getting scared. Because you know, either he will take your money or he's going to harass you in terms of cash.
A drone strike on a mosque in the city of Al Fashir in Darfur has reportedly killed 40 people as the civil war in Sudan intensified. The paramilitary rapid support forces have been fighting to take over the city from the army. It's the only area in the Darfur region the RSF doesn't control. The BBC's Barbara Plett-Asher.
The RSF launched another fierce attack on Al Fashir earlier this week, which the army claimed to have repelled. But the paramilitaries still appear to be advancing. On Friday, a resident of the city told the BBC that dozens of people were killed in a drone strike on a mosque during morning prayers. The RSF has also entered the main base of armed groups allied to the Sudanese military. A war monitor says it's also likely the group has taken over the Abu Shuk displaced persons camp at the edge of the city.
Lastly, the British and Irish governments are due to announce a new agreement on how killings from the conflict in Northern Ireland should be investigated. About 3,500 people were killed over a 30-year period. The BBC's Chris Page.
It's understood the new agreements will see an overhaul of the agency which investigates deaths. It'll be renamed the Legacy Commission and will be able to carry out criminal investigations. Another body will focus on finding out information about killings. It's believed there'll be legislation to enable full cooperation between authorities in the UK and Ireland. The Northern Ireland Secretary Hilary Benn and the Irish Foreign Minister Simon Harris are expected to give a news conference later today.
Channel Africa News, I'm Oneli Tsinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Minutes into 1 p.m. in Central African Time. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. It is a Friday, and this is The Upside on Channel Africa, exclusively so. A pleasure to have you join us via satellite across the African region. It's Channel PAS10. Otherwise, the traditional World Wide Web, channelafrica.co.za. And you can now just catch us on social media. Okay, you can catch the show live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. We're live there. You can watch the show there. You can participate and comment on our conversations as you catch this broadcast live. Thank you for joining us. Can you believe that we are 19 days into the month of September? I cannot believe it. And I'm in so much shock that I forgot to tell you who I am. And I forgot to tell you the name of my co-pilot. That's how shocked I am. Thank you for being here. My name is Mmatsheko Mosito, and my co-pilot is Tebogo Lekhuleni. But honestly, can you actually fathom in your brain that we are 19 days?
One more week of September
cannot.
left. That one full week of September left. That's what remains. We are actually in December. Remember yesterday, I can't remember who I was talking to, whether it was Ululu Kabu talking about the Christmas lights and festive lights being put up. And she was like, it's too soon, it's too soon. It's not.
Never that, sis.
We're already in October. October, November, December.
It's done.
It's done.
It is OVER.
Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday, my friend. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing
What?
that we at this stage in the year.
But this is the good side. This is the
It's a good thing, hey?
period of the year, right? This is the festive period of the year.
Yeah.
Things move a lot quicker, especially for those who work their 9 to 5s. Now they're like, oh, the days are going. Can't wait for December,
yes,
right?
actually,
And
I
we
hear
also
that.
can't wait to take a break, right? Because November, December, that's the time we take a break. We go be with family. We travel. We explore. So people are excited. So it's an exciting time of the year, don't you think?
I think
You wanted to drag a little bit.
I think you're onto something. No, my mind is on the productivity. Have goals been met? Have deals been signed? Have we done this, that, and the other? But I like that angle. I like the fact that it's actually a time of R&R, of rest and rejuvenation, rest and relaxation. Somewhere in your favorite place, wherever that may be.
Absolutely. Here's what's coming up on the upside this afternoon. We get into conversation with the CEO of Vilama, Samson Vilagazi, and he'll be joining us today because he's spearheading the Link Up Township Enterprise SMME workshop. It's an initiative dedicated to empowering township entrepreneurs, and I love that. Anything to do entrepreneurship, small businesses, I am for it.
Yes.
And I love it. And then we get into conversation with a multi-award winning producer, Touch, and then in studio we'll be joined by, he's now changed his name, he's no longer Jazz Works, he's Jazz World, and Tutela. Listen, I was telling Lulu earlier during the throw forward, I was like, four of the top 10 songs in South Africa right now feature Jazz World. 4 of them, and 7 of them feature in the top 20. They are killing it on social media, on TikTok. Their songs are everywhere. They're killing it on the charts, and we get to hang out with them this afternoon on the upside. So an exciting show, and we've got our jazz mix as well, or not jazz mix, our DJ mix as well this afternoon. So quite a lot of things to look forward to.
Listen, it sounds, tastes, and smells like a Friday, and we're very happy that you're here to catch this
Are you
broadcast.
wearing your shorts?
Listen, today was one of those days, right? One of those days where you had to grab whatever you can find and get out the house. I was planning on wearing my grey shorts, but I think I will save those for next Friday.
It's 11 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the upside.
Did I let the team down?
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix.
Wewe ni mjasiriamali unajihusisha na biashara ya kuuza dawa. Jaribu kutuambia kwanza, kwa nini ulianzisha biashara hiyo?
Tutasema kwamba maisha ya kila siku ni kwamba mtu anapaswa kuwa na maisha ya kuweza kujitegemea. Usitegemee kuajiriwa, lakini utegemee kujiajiri, na baadaye utaweza ukaajiri wengine. Na hiyo ilinipa msukumo mkubwa kwa kuweza kujiajiri na kampuni hii kwa ajili ya kuweza kuwasaidia wale ambao wanahangaika zaidi.
Unauza aina gani ya dawa?
Unasema ni dawa, lakini kwetu sisi tunaita kama vile ni pipi, ambayo ni virutubisho ambavyo vinakwenda kusaidia kwa wale ambao wanatatizwa na aina tofauti ya magonjwa.
Virutubisho hivyo sasa vinatibu magonjwa gani?
Virutubisho hivi vinatunza magonjwa kama vile ya kisukari, shinikizo la damu.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Você é fluente em português? É apaixonado por rádio e quer trabalhar na África do Sul? Você tem documentos que o qualificam para trabalhar na África do Sul? Nesse caso, podemos ter uma oportunidade para você trabalhar no Canal África. Envie seu currículo e demonstração para Canal África @ newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Lembre-se, se você não receber alguma resposta nossa em 14 dias, isso significa que você não foi selecionado. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito. Only on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
18 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Can you believe that Lekhuleni has only received one Grammy nomination? A musical duo born in France, in Bordeaux. It's Bordeaux. Bordeaux. All right, and then their parents, they moved with their parents to Chad to go live with them. Lekhuleni, that song Makeda. I can't believe they only have one nomination.
I'm also really surprised by that fact.
All right. But beautiful music to kickstart our Friday edition of The Upside. Happy Friday to you and yours. Thank you so much for tuning into Channel Africa this afternoon. The African Perspective. It's a musical Friday. It's an influential Friday, and it's a laid-back kind of Friday. We're ushering you into the weekend, but we're going to start off with an important conversation, one that is very close to my heart. Empowering entrepreneurs, especially in the township, because... And it may sound controversial what I'm about to say, but we cannot wait. I don't think, not just in South Africa, but throughout the continent, we cannot wait for government to provide us with jobs. If the small businesses are given enough of a platform and the barriers to entry are reduced, we can employ more, reduce that unemployment rate, and boost the economy. And we'll be talking about that SMME workshop with Mr. Samson Vilakazi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, indeed. And it's a pleasure to speak to human beings like this, of this caliber, that are taking matters into their own hands in a good way. Not waiting for someone else to come up with the ideas on how you can actually start workshops and have these progressive dialogues around how people can start and sustain their businesses, especially in the township. Because there's a lot of money there. Hey,
millions of people in
there's really just massive opportunity. If you just got to think a little bit, network a little bit, and get going. Okay, there are so many gifts. Social media being one of them. The internet is a big place where anyone can thrive these days. Everyone can be a superstar. You can make your own money. Okay, so we're going to be speaking to Samson Vilakazi, as Tebogo has mentioned, in his capacity as CEO of Vilama. He's going to tell us all about that, and he's going to tell us how he's been spearheading the Link Up Township Enterprise SMME workshop. We'll be right back.
Africa, meet Abedi.
Yeah, that's me.
Abedi is a music lover through and through.
I really love African music.
He's got a taste for all kinds of tunes and spends his days listening to Channel Africa. Guess what? He didn't know.
Okay.
Channel Africa wants to help Abedi and all music lovers everywhere to discover even more incredible music. That is why Channel Africa is calling on all African musicians to submit their music. Musicians, remember to give us all your relevant information. Make your submissions at music@channelafrica.co.za. Submissions are your chance to be heard on radio. But sadly, they do not guarantee that you will be playlisted. All submissions will be carefully reviewed to see if they meet our station's requirement. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
It's 22 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get into our first conversation this afternoon because we'll be joined by Samson Vilakazi, CEO of Vilama. He is spearheading the Link Up Township Enterprise SMME workshop. It's an initiative dedicated to empowering township entrepreneurs, unlocking opportunities for small businesses, and reshaping how we think about township economies. The workshop is designed to give township-based entrepreneurs the knowledge, tools, and connections they need to thrive in South Africa's competitive market. And today we'll unpack how this vision is being put into action. We are joined by Mr. Samson. Samson, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside. Let's talk about the inspiration behind the Link Up workshop.
Thank you very much, and thanks for the opportunity to talk to both your listeners and those that view the show. And this is really a privilege for us. And I just want to start it from the top because somebody would sit on the other side and want to understand, number one, what spearheaded this idea and where did it come from? And also somebody would sit on the other side and ask themselves, what gives Vilama credentials to be the ones who talk to us about something of this nature or to set up something of this nature? And we can be in a position to listen to them. What makes us to want to listen to them? So at some point in time, we used to run an access point for CEDA. I'm sure some of you would know that CEDA and CIFA have now come together, that they are called CEDFA. At some point in time, we used to be one of the companies that partnered with CEDA to run an access point in KwaMhlanga, in Mpumalanga, and we were purely occupied with one thing: go and capacitate the entrepreneurs in the area and make sure that they understand the basics and their businesses have an opportunity to thrive at some point in time. That gave us a great opportunity to understand. So what sort of gaps exist there? And we realized if we were to just try and do this only through this access point that accesses only a small number of people, the impact would probably be minute and it would not really make a significant impact. Hence, now we decided we're going to take this setup into a greater or a bigger scale through this township link up. And this resonated with us purely because if you go and check our website and check what our business is about, it's governance. There is also HR services there, but we also do tax and advisory services, which places us at the center of what runs businesses, not only township, but any business, right? And WNR saw an opportunity to then link up with us and see if we cannot trial run and see if we cannot roll out the program that it's a subject in question today. This initiative called the Township Enterprise Link Up. So that's what gave birth, and that's what necessitated that we should have something like this. But the question again would be: so what is our objective with all of this? You would know that everybody, especially in government, talks about let's drive township economy.
Yeah.
But the question is, once these people have registered themselves and registered their companies, do they even understand what makes them ready so that when opportunities come about, they can be in a position to access these opportunities? One of the things that which we do is social facilitation as one of our services. And again, it gives us an indication of where gaps are. People don't pay attention to compliance. And compliance is not only for government. Anywhere else where you're going to try and do business, proper, sustainable business.
All right, we appear to have lost.
You need to take a compliant organization in front. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. So all that I was saying as I conclude that point.
All right. Samson, can we ask that you just move around where you are right now? We appear to be losing signal. And I think you were getting to the crescendo of that point. And we need to just wrap it up at that particular. If you don't mind just moving around in the space you're at, so we can get a better signal. Let's try again.
Can you hear me?
Barely. Maybe just move around a little bit more. Let's try.
Can you hear me?
There we go. That's a strong
connection. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. That's a strong connection there.
Super. Yes, as I conclude that point, what I was saying is one of the things that which we do within our services is social facilitation. Again, it gave us an opportunity to see where gaps are. If you were to understand what a role of social facilitation in a project is, we link up with, for instance, a forum in the area where the project is happening, and we are preoccupied with three things: making sure that the project has access to unemployed people, making sure that the project has access to companies that run in a demarcated, whether it's a ward or whatever that has been agreed between the developer and the person who's awarding the project. That also places us in a situation where we realized most township companies, they go and become frustrated, but they get frustrated by simple things that relate to compliance, whether be it, tax, be it WCA, be it anything that talks to compliance, including CST compliant companies. So all of this, data history sort of precipitated to us having an initiative like this. Back to you.
Back to us. Samson, I don't know if we've got some more time to spend with you. Do you have an extra 10 minutes to give us so that we can continue the conversation? Because I'd really like us to find out how we can actually attend the link up. I think it's so important, and I would love to unpack more questions. Do you have some time to stay on the line with us? Okay, I think we're going to try and get Samson back on the line. We're just struggling to get him back on the line. It's 1:30. Let's check in with the sports.
I just realized that the network is not just
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
And a very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Musibu Dimakura with the latest sports news at the SAWA. The South African Football Association CEO Lydia Monyapao says the focus now remains on winning the final two FIFA World Cup qualifiers. This despite a FIFA disciplinary case involving Bafana Bafana as well as the midfielder Tebogo. So SABC Sport broke the story yesterday that FIFA has officially now opened disciplinary proceedings following Mogwena's appearance in a 2-0 victory over Lesotho earlier on in the year. Despite the midfielder being under suspension, a guilty verdict could see the result overturned to a 3-0 win for Lesotho and 3 points deducted from Bafana Bafana's tally. But CEO Monyapao maintains that they have got their fate in their own hands and they are focused more on getting those points, maximum points in the final round of the qualifiers, as opposed to what's happening at the moment with this FIFA case.
Received confirmation from FIFA that they have they're investigating the matter, which is something that we've been waiting for a very long time. So it's now on the table and we are preparing our defense for that, and we need to be reverting to FIFA in the next couple of days. So all our attention is on that. We've got attorneys that have already been appointed to help us as well. So we are not really focus on that. I think for us it's a matter of ensuring that we get maximum points come October so that the team can qualify no matter what happens as far as this is concerned.
While a negative ruling would have a major implications on Group C on the log standings of this group, and President Hugo Bruce's men lead the table with 17 points, 3 ahead of Benin. A 3-point deduction would then see South Africa drop to second on 14 points, level with Benin but behind on goal difference. In anticipation with the case, SAFA has now assembled a high-powered legal team to mount a defense for both the association as well as Mokoena. Monyapao has time to assure the nation.
To Coach Hugo Bruce, it's about ensuring that we get maximum points come October. Anything else is a noise to us. Tebogo, Nigeria, whatever, it's noise to us. For us, it's about ensuring that the team remains focused, and we ensure that we get the points come October, because no matter what happens, whether FIFA docks the points or FIFA gives us whatever happens, we need to ensure that we are going to USA.
I stay with football news. The South African side, as well as Angola, will face off in the final of the Total Energies CAF Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations, the COSAFA qualifiers in Harare, Zimbabwe on Saturday, and safe in the knowledge that they have already booked their place in the continental finals. Now, South Africa defeated the Comoros Islands by 7-0, while Angola edged Mozambique 1-0 in Thursday's semi-finals to seal their spots in the decider at the Ngoni Stadium. Stadium. There's still a chance for the two last four losers to earn their place at the Total Energies CAF Under-17 AFCON 2026 when they meet in the fourth place playoff match to be staged on Saturday morning. So COSAFA will have three representatives again at the Continental Finals, where they will be hoping to turn things around for the COSAFA region in terms of being part of the 10 nations for the Africa Cup of Nations tournament. Firstly, for the upcoming AFCON tournament at the under-17 level, but more so be part of the upcoming 48-team FIFA under-17 World Cup that is taking place in Qatar next year. On to athletics news now. Kenya are hoping legend Faith Kipyegon as well as Emmanuel Wanyoni will deliver 2 gold medals on the penultimate day of the World Athletics Championships on Saturday. Now, Kipyegon defends her title in the women's 5,000-meter final, while Wanyoni is looking to add world gold to his 800-meter Olympic crown from last year. Now, the Olympic champion has carried that para's form into this season, but the only question mark is whether he has overdone himself this campaign. The 21-year-old, who many believe is capable of breaking his compatriot David Rudisha's world record, was pushed all the way in the Diamond League final in Zurich, Switzerland just last month. Now, Kenya's women have outshone their bitter rivals Ethiopia in distance races so far at the championships, and on paper it is unlikely to change in the next coming day. So Saturday's likely sold out crowd can feast on the battle between Kenya's duo of Beatrice Chebet as well as Kenyan Faith Kipyegon, as they both are seeking a double gold at the World Athletics Championships. And finally, Team South Africa leader Jean Fester has praised the 49 team for their spirit of determination at the ongoing World Championships. Now, while medals have been elusive so far, he highlighted the team's youthful makeup, and with many athletes now building up towards the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles.
And we still have quite a few exciting days left. Johannes du Plessis in the javelin is a contender for a medal. We also have 3 very young athletes in the women's shot put, one of very few countries who had 3 athletes to qualify in that event. Also Victor Hogan in the men's discus. And obviously the relays is very big events for South Africa. All our sprinters are ready for it, been training very hard. Tomorrow morning will be their last hard session with regards to exchanges, etc. And yeah, we're looking forward to a very good last few days.
For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, our email address is newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or call us on +27 11714 4459. Back with more sports news in the next hour for Channel Africa Sport. I am Mosibo Di Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday, 23rd of July for Hard Talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and the whole country affected by gender-based violence. For all your favorite SABC radio stations, call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC.
37 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get the latest in business news. Buntle Hedbush is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thanks, Tebogo, and a very good afternoon to our listeners. In our top story at this hour, Uganda's total public debt has risen 26.2% in the 2024-25 financial year as the government expanded its domestic borrowing to meet financing needs. A report by the country's finance ministry shows that the East African country's total public debt rose to $32.3 billion in the 12 months to June, up from $25.6 billion in the previous previous period. Uganda's public debt has been growing at an accelerated rate in recent years as the government has increased spending on infrastructure projects in energy, transportation, and other sectors. Zimbabwe has lifted its 2025 economic growth forecast on the back of a bigger tobacco harvest and this year's rally in the global gold price. Zimbabwean Finance Minister Mthuli Ncube says they now see the economy growing 6.6% this year, higher than the projected 6%. The country's commodity-dependent economy recorded growth of 2% last year as an El Nino-induced drought hit crop yields and hydropower, forcing it to import grain. Manganese exports and car shipments remain the key drivers for Transnet port terminals in South Africa's Eastern Cape province. A G20 roundtable discussion is underway in Gqeberha with Transnet, and this is one of the focal points on the table. Transnet's managing executive for Eastern Cape, Wandisa Vazi, says through its $29 million investment in Eastern Cape ports last year, 700 more people were employed.
It's very important for the Eastern Cape and not only for PE, and hence we've introduced manganese in East London as well. It's important to diversify the commodities that we have in the Eastern Cape. Eastern Cape is known for auto industry, and we've seen the challenges that auto industry is experiencing. But if we only focus on auto industry or citrus industry, because we've got farms around the Eastern Cape, we've got to bring another key commodity that is in demand globally. And hence we want to be the main exporter of the manganese.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa says he's hopeful about progress in South Africa-US relations. Speaking to SABC News, Ramaphosa noted improved communication channels, especially since trade talks have begun to address recent US tariffs. Although US President Donald Trump said he will not attend the Johannesburg G20 summit in November, Ramaphosa says he's invited him to accept the G20 presidency handover in person. Meanwhile, the president adds he will engage with various countries and enterprises to expand key markets.
The fact that formal negotiations have now started, and it's no longer, tweets and social media messages, it's now formal negotiations. People are in the White House talking about important issues of trade and all that. That for us is a great advance. It's a great progress forward. And we are hoping that those discussions will be well concluded.
European Union finance ministers are looking to reach a common position today on how to set up a digital euro currency that could become an alternative to the now dominant US-based Visa and MasterCard systems. Discussions on creating a digital equivalent of the euro currency, now used in 20 European countries, have been ongoing for 6 years. But the debate heated up this year because the EU is now keen to reduce its dependence on other countries in key areas like energy, finance and defense. EU Economic Commissioner Valdis Dombrovskis has also stressed the need for Europe to have an independent payment system for online shopping as more and more businesses move to the internet so that they don't have to rely on foreign payment schemes. And now taking a look at the indicators, at this hour, $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,493 naira. In Botswana, it's at 13 pula 11 Kenya. The dollar is trading at 128 shilling 39, and in Zambia it's at 23 kwacha 49. Moving to the BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 real 30, Russia 83 rubles 40, in India it's 88 rupees 10, China 7 yuan 10, and South Africa $1 is trading at 17 rand 37 cents this afternoon. $1 is trading at 73 pence to the British pound and 84 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,658 per ounce, platinum at $1,391 per ounce, while Brent crude oil is at $67.01 a barrel. And those are your business news. I'll be back with another update in the next hour. For any business news stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Buntle Hetbush.
business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. The Upside, taking the African perspective to fresh levels.
Welcome back to The Upside with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. We are talking business, okay? Business to uplift townships and to really make sure that SMMEs reach their full potential. So I don't know if you've heard of the Link app. It's a township enterprise SMME workshop as led by the CEO of Samson Vilakazi, I beg your pardon. And he spoke in the first segment about just the importance of knowing business overall, okay, not just looking at it from a perspective of townships, and then just growing from there. So we really are in conversation with him about this Link app and also the stakeholders involved and how young people can get a piece of the pie. Okay, this is the time for you to really get in and see how you can grow your business through this wonderful Link up. Samson, thank you very much for holding the line and for your patience. Let's continue on. I think you had finished your last point really about the essentials and the building blocks around township businesses or building a business and all of that. Let's talk about just some of the other crucial things around building and the building blocks around the Link up. Just walk us through how you're curating it and some of the stakeholders that are going to be involved so that you can empower people beyond the workshop.
Certainly. So we had a great opportunity yesterday to really kickstart this in a big way. Mm-hmm. And we really want to thank the WNR CETA who really raised their hand when we reached out with a proposal after we've shared with them, why is it that it is necessary for us to do an initiative like this. And there were also other supporters in a form of CETFA, NYDA, who really just said, and many others that raised their hands and said, would like to take part. We see this as something that really moves the needle. So what maybe the question should be, what's the next step to make sure that we realize impact? Mm-hmm. Already yesterday, there are some of commitments that were made, in a form of helping some of the people that who are owning businesses that were in attendance yesterday. And we've got a due diligence process because of, whilst you come up with something good, there are also scammers who want to latch onto your network. We want to try by all means to make sure that we also close the door for the scammers. If there are certain commitments that are made, we are following it up with a due diligence process and make sure that those that are intended to benefit from this are the right people and are the people who own businesses. And really the partners that work with us, their brand also is not exposed. And even for us as Vilama, we are also not exposed in perpetuating something that is off criminal. So what's the call for action here? We have, and people can go to our social media, and a great place to start could be our website. Our website is very simple. It's www.vilama.co.za, Vilama being VILAMA.co.za. And all our social media pages appear there. Or you can go to Instagram and type Vilama. You'll see Vilama _business_ I think text. You'll find information about the very same link up we're doing yesterday. And we also intend to put up our content on summarized version of it on our website for people to be able to get access to that. Ourselves and RC might not be enough to carry a big responsibility like this. We reach out to corporates and need to participate on something like this to take part. Building a nation, it's never a responsibility of one person. We've made ourselves available. We've made our experiences as something that which can be used to really drive township economy and to really sensitize and capacitate people who are as the starting point running businesses in the township. Of course, we can still go to rural, to many other places that may need something like this. But at this point in time, really the focus is township and rural, and other places could come through as partners, raise their hands and become available. I don't know if that answers your question, Mmatsheko.
It answers my question and more. And I think, you're also tapping into something wonderful in terms of the contemporary space, of what township represents right now. Because obviously in previous times, township was really designed and under the apartheid era, and it was during the years of segregation. There wasn't a lot of economic activity as we are seeing now. So I think, the direction that you're taking through this workshop is definitely progressive. Yeah.
All right. It's 10 minutes.
Certainly.
It's 10 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time. We'll continue our conversation with Samson Vilakazi, CEO of Vilama. He's spearheading the Link Up Township Enterprise SMME workshop. And we'll continue the conversation right after this.
Hi there. Do you want to elevate your business and give it a voice in South Africa and Africa as a whole? Well, in that case, let Channel Africa make this a possibility. Channel Africa is willing to advertise your business for as little as 30,000 rands or $1,719.18. To get access to these great rates, send all requests to mukwena@SABC. That's MOKOENATA@SABC. Channel Africa, the African perspective. This Heritage Month, we honor the beauty of our differences and the strength of our cultures. Listen to Channel Africa on satellite channel PAS10. The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
All right, let's continue our conversation with Samson Vilakazi, CEO of Vilama. Samson, how during the workshop, and perhaps this is something that you addressed during the workshop, and maybe you can answer it in a broader spectrum in terms of how do we go about changing the mindset of township businesses and entrepreneurs from a survivalist one, just to get by, to a growth-focused one that can grow, employ, and enhance the economy in that community?
Tebogo, thank you very much for this question. It is as if you were at the workshop yesterday, because one of the things that I was really emphasizing on to the entrepreneurs who were there in the room is, let's understand what is an EME business and what is a QSE business. And the goal should be to strive to become a QSE business. And if I'm to summarize for those that wondering what I'm talking about, an EME business would be a business that turn over 1 rand to just below 10 million rand. A QSE business would be a business that turns over 10 million rand up to 50 million rands minimum. So, and I explain in great detail, you've got to start somewhere and you've got to have a goal, because if you're a QSE business, already those numbers tell you have taken on much more bigger responsibility. It means you must sharpen your pencil in making sure that your systems are in place, your QMS is in place. And sometimes people in the township, and I know we don't really have enough time here, I was going to share an infographic from when we were receiving responses from people, just to give you a landscape of how the township looks like right now. It's quite exciting, but you need to make people realize this is doable. But you need to have a navigator to take you through various steps from growing this business, from being a zero not profit making business to I survive, to I am creating opportunities for other people because I've got a great thing that which people are happy to exchange and transact with me as the business owner to have access to whatever, whether it's a service, it's a product, or whatever that small business owner is putting out there. It's not going to be about just running spicer shops only. I think businesses in the location have a capability to do more than that. It's just that they don't understand that running a business, it's a combination of things. It's not only you having a good product, it's also you having compliance and taken care of, having systems to handle money, and understanding how profit and loss works, so that even when we are doing our pricing, those things have been taken into consideration. Back to Tebogo.
Okay. I like the direction.
Are you still there, Tebogo?
We are still here. We're still here.
I like the direction of this conversation because you are literally giving us a nice big bite of what's been taking place at the actual workshop and giving us an understanding of what of the inner workings of the workshop, as it were, Mr. Vilakazi. You talk about so many essential things around, business and how we can be more efficient in how we run our businesses in the township. Cash flow, very important. How we look at business, very important. Going online is another one. I wish we had more time so we can talk about just going online, or perhaps you can give us a minute around that, because I think this is very important. How did you unpack that for maybe the guy who's got a business that he's running, a spaza shop, for example? Traditionally, you didn't need to have an internet, a website, or anything of the sort, or social media to run a spaza shop. You didn't need to go online to run whatever business, your transport business, because you just needed word of mouth and you were good to go. So how did you address matters of the current time, artificial intelligence, going online, using social media as the gift that it is for your business?
Very good question that you're asking, Mmatsheko. And it's one of the things that we addressed. If I'm to quickly give you a sense of the infographic that we were using as the basis of understanding who was in the room, surprisingly, there was a big number of people who run or who have set up their businesses to run communications and PR and something that has to do with IT, in the township. And already that gave them an opportunity and a platform to know. You may have somebody else who sells clothes in the room. You guys need to be talking to each other. Sometimes you don't even need to be going outside of the township. Already within yourselves, there's competencies, there's offering that helps you again within yourselves and as businesses in the township. And also, we touched upon the importance of keeping the currency and money moving in the township instead of just being consumers. We go, we earn a salary, and then quickly it goes to check us somewhere in a suburb somewhere. To build an economy, it starts with simple things like that. How do you make sure that you move money and you allow this money to circulate in the township? And running a business, we are living in a global village now. You could actually, your offering or your solution could be needed in India, but somebody who's sitting in India doesn't know Tembisa, doesn't know Thokoza, doesn't know Soweto. So what's the greatest way of sensitizing and making somebody who's sitting in India aware of your offering? Online platforms. But when you are going into online, there's a great investment that is required. And these are the things that which we were explaining to them, that, in isiZulu, we say, ungathi mawudla uze udle nembewu. What that means in English translation is when you it's a plowing season, when you don't eat the tree together with the roots or the seed that comes out of a fruit. You only eat the fruits. So what that means from a business point of view is that when you have invoiced and you are rewarding yourself, you need to be able to identify what is the fruit and how do I deal with the seed to make sure that this seed continues to grow my business. What does that mean? You start investing into, let me get a proper IT person or somebody who prepares websites, who could, on a retainer, be able to take care of my website so that I have a internet presence.
Yeah.
And that on its own, even if you have put 500 rand there, that 500 rand comes in greater numbers back, because it gives you access to the markets that ordinarily you'd not have access to those markets. So those are some of the things that which we were covering yesterday, and we are hoping that there will be an opportunity for us to go to other townships, especially if there are partners that raise their hands and want to work with us. We've made ourselves and our company available to really, really go and drive this narrative and help to grow township economy with sustainable business. I mean, one of the things we were saying yesterday is that there's a difference between a tenderpreneur and a sustainable business. And what's the difference? It's exactly what you guys were asking me about. Do you have a goal to run a multi-million and a multi-billion business? It starts somewhere.
Hey, Samson, we're going to have to end it there for today. Unfortunately, we've been struggling with that line, but we got the gist of the conversation, inspirational work that you're doing, and you're more than welcome to check him out on social media platform and check out their website, Vilama. That's Vilama. And you can check them out on social media for the upcoming workshops and catch up on what they did yesterday. It's 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest news on Ellen Sinzi standing by.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Looking at your top stories, the U.S. Embassy refuses to sign a memorandum of understanding from Eswatini citizens, and Mozambique hawkers met with challenges at the Libombo border post. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. The U.S. Embassy has refused to sign a memorandum of understanding presented to them by organizations from Eswatini, which included the Swaziland Youth Congress and the People's United Democratic Movement, who marched to the U.S. Embassy. The group marched to the U.S. Embassy in protest against a report of a $500 million deal between King Mswati III and the United States to house convicted U.S. criminals in Eswatini. They say the country is being treated like a dumping site and the deal violates the country's sovereignty. Channel Africa's Nhlanhla Mahlangu is there and caught up with Mpumlani Nxumalo, the Deputy President of the Swaziland Youth Congress.
A number of more than 150 are still yet to come. So we are trying to raise to the African about imperialism, which is now using Eswatini to attack the southern part of Africa. So the reason we came here is to voice our grievances, because we understand the implications that comes with this deal. So ours is to try to raise awareness, pull the Southern African people and to the embassy that we are actually not part of this, and we are all aggrieved, just that it's a deal between the Eswatini government and the US.
South Africa's Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development, Mamoloko Kubai, says the government is prioritizing the rollout of an integrated people's management system designed to trace criminals who are difficult to track in South Africa. Kubai was speaking during a media roundtable by the Justice, Crime and Prevention Security Cluster and Brand South Africa at the Nelson Mandela Foundation in Johannesburg. The engagement forms part of the government's efforts to communicate key successes in fighting crime and building safer communities where South Africans feel protected. Kubai says the system will enhance the ability of police officers to trace offenders more efficiently.
So we've taken a decision yesterday that we will sit as the cluster on the 25th to look at how we roll out fast. We said to Minister Kachalia, we want to see this roll out as soon as possible to all the police stations because it will help us to track all these criminals and reduce people that we can't find.
A drone strike on a mosque in the city of Al Fashir in Darfur has reportedly killed 40 people as the civil war in Sudan intensifies. Rapid support forces have been fighting to take over the city from the army. It's the only area in the Darfur region the RSF does not control. The BBC's Barbara Plett-Asher.
The RSF launched another fierce attack on Al Fashir earlier this week, which the army claimed to have repelled. But the paramilitaries still appear to be advancing. On Friday, a resident of the city told the BBC that dozens of people were killed in a drone strike on a mosque during morning prayers. The RSF has also entered the main base of armed groups allied to the Sudanese military. A war monitor says it's also likely the group has taken over the Abu Shuk displaced persons camp at the edge of the city.
Hawkers from Mozambique who frequently cross the border to buy goods in South Africa are accusing the security cluster at the Libombo border post in the Mpumalanga province of extortion. They say this happens even when they submit all required documents to border officials. They claim that they are continuously harassed by the police at the border gate, demanding money from them. One of the hawkers, who wanted to remain anonymous for safety reasons, says they are always forced to pay money, and this is unacceptable.
But now we are getting scared because we have to hide the money from the thieves, and we have to hide the money from the police, which doesn't make sense. Police are the people who they're supposed to give us security with our money, with our properties. But when we are live at the Libombo border, it's not happening that. We have not, when you see a police coming to you, you start getting scared. Because you know, either he will take your money or he's going to harass you in terms of cash.
The Border Management Authority has meanwhile acknowledged that there are still challenges at the Libombo border post. BMA Commissioner Mike Masiapato.
Is that the border environment, unfortunately, even as we inherited the work and we inherited the environment, there has been a lot of challenges relating to corruption. Particularly as the Border Management Authority, to be able to start dealing with some of these inherent problems. Section 13.3 of the Border Management Authority gives us an authority to make sure that every official goes through a vetting process. We have started some work together with State Security Agency to make sure that our colleagues are enrolled through into a vetting process, which is also going to enable us to be able to deal with the issues.
Recapping on your top stories, the U.S. Embassy has refused to sign a memorandum of understanding presented to them by organizations from Eswatini, which included the Swaziland Youth Congress, the People's United Democratic Movement, who marched to the U.S. Embassy. The group marched in protest against reports of a $500 million deal between King Mswati III and the United States to house convicted U.S. criminals in the country. Channel Africa News, I'm Oneli Tsinsi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
It is 7 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the Golden Hour, the second hour of The Upside on Channel Africa, The African Perspective with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. We're coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. And you can join us live see our lovely studio. Check out the presenters. At Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. If you have DSTV, it's channel 802. OpenView, channel 628. As always, you can download that SABC Plus app so you can take us with you wherever you go on your Android or your iOS device. And if you'd like to catch up on our previous conversations, podcasts, go to www.channelafrica.co.za. Here's what's coming up in this hour of the show. Music. The DJ mix. We always look forward to the DJ mix on a Friday on the Upside. And this DJ mix this afternoon will be brought to us by multi-award winning DJ and producer Mmatsheko. Are you a fan?
I'm going to learn something about Mmatsheko today.
Oh,
but
okay.
you should be his hype man, and you should be paid for it. Because the way you said that Mmatsheko,
I should be everyone's hype man at this point.
I literally felt it deep in my soul. But you're just talented at that. I think this is Spirit's way of showing you where your talent lies. Your other talents.
I must go be people's hype man.
Amongst many others that you've got. Like being an astute business person, you're also amazing at hyping people up. So yes.
Listen, Gwelanga 2.0 currently on Spotify is sitting at over 17 million streams.
Don't even
touch.
Really?
No, it's hectic. Like
that is phenomenal.
No, because the first one didn't do that bad. It wasn't that bad. Got over 1 million. Gwelanga, right? And then Gwelanga 2.0. Featuring T-Man Express. Who else does he have there? Lee McCrazy. 17.5 million streams on Spotify.
That is amazing.
And that is the person who's going to be bringing us our DJ mix this afternoon. That is exciting.
That is really exciting. You know what that actually is? That is a, we want more. We want more. And people actually responded positively after they got more.
I love it.
70... That's like what, 16 million more than the first one.
Well, yes.
That's amazing.
But also his consistency, because his monthly listenership is about 300,000, and that is right up there with the best. All right, it's 10 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. That DJ mix is coming up in this hour. Welcome to the second hour, the golden hour of the Upside.
AUSISA, the Association of Water and Sanitation Institution of South Africa, is a platform uniting Africa's water professionals. This November, Africa leads the conversation on water and sanitation. Join global and African leaders at the AUSISA Africa and Global South Dialogue 2025 from the 9th till the 12th of November at the Emperor's Palace, Johannesburg. From policy innovation, this is where action meets collaboration for a water-secure future. Register today at ausisa-watersan-dialogue.org or follow at AUSISA on social media. AUSISA, working together for sustainable water and sanitation security in Africa. Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter? Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard? Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126 and we will call you back so you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So yeah, that's who I am, you know.
It's not just talk. It's your chance to air your views. Share your opinion. Engage with the community that values your perspective. Follow us on our social media. Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za and get ready to share your views on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Your afternoons just got even better, fresh and exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news from an African perspective.
Mhm. 16 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Ganye nawe. Athalia Moore. Is Moore or More? Featuring Surprise Nene. Beautiful music coming to you on the upside this afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Catch us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. So something very interesting. And I'm going to... I need to research a bit more about it, right? But suffice to say, in Scotland... right? Scotland there in the UK. Scottish Borders Council has launched a fresh or a court action rather to evict a self-titled African tribe. There are 3 members of this tribe. They call themselves the Kingdom of Kubala. It includes a Ghanaian, a name of Kofi Ofe, Zambian-born Jean Gasho, and American Cora Taylor. They were removed from a woodland camp near Jedburg on Tuesday. They created their own little tribe, and they have like artwork on their face, paintings on their face, and they created their own tribe. And they said, no, this is the way of our people. We've been living like this. They've been living like this for the longest time. And we are just, we've gotten in touch with their spirit to revive this tribe and the meaning and the values that it upheld back in the days. I've never heard of this tribe personally.
I've never in my whole life.
Yeah, personally. And also when you look at the sort of the artwork on their face, I mean, this is just a screen grab. It's very, very interesting. Like just little dots, like you just draw a line or two on your face. And now you're going to call yourself and say that you have your own tribe, an African tribe that you created. But I wonder how many are doing that.
Starting their own little tribes.
Starting their own little tribe in the name of Africa. I'm like, yeah, no, this is an African tribe back in Africa. There are people who live like this. And if you don't live in Africa, know any better, you would believe them because they come dressed like this. What are you going to say?
Well, obviously they come from somewhere, so they're going to borrow from their own heritages and tribes and then, I don't know, customize it for Scottish living. I don't know.
With quilts and stuff.
Customize it some way, you know. But
I just found it
look, as long as it's not, I think it's okay. As long as there is no child abuse involved in these tribes, and there's no hurting of the planet in these tribes. Listen, you can do whatever makes you happy. Okay,
whatever makes you happy.
Do whatever you paint your face purple every day.
Create your own tribe. Yeah.
Wear pink socks and eat potatoes for breakfast, lunch, and supper. As long as you're not hurting anybody, I will support you. I will send you my best wishes.
It is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Someone creating their own African tribe. Because when you think about it, there are some tribes.
That's very courageous, hey?
No, but let's think about it. There are some tribes like, where did you actually come from? Someone decided, I'm tired of this one. Let me create my own. Anyway, it's 20 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get into our DJ mix. Mmatsheko in the house, multi-award winning producer and DJ. Enjoy.
Ahoy, matey.
Captain here to help, right, boys?
Set sail with us on a digital voyage like no other. Channel Africa has a treasure trove of awesomeness. That is our website and social media pages.
Tell me, why are you here?
We want you to be part of our adventure.
The winds are changing, Captain. And this time...
Imagine a world where curiosity knows no bounds, where entertainment meets enlightenment, and where every click leads to the African perspective. Visit us on our website, www.channelafrica.co.za, or follow us on Instagram or on X at Channel Africa One. Go on, like us on Facebook at Channel Africa One. So, spread the word. Tell a friend that Channel Africa's online variety is what they need on the web. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside, taking the African perspective to fresh levels.
What a banger. What a mix. DJ mix this afternoon brought to us by Touch, multi-award winning producer and DJ. 10 out of 10?
Listen,
Easily.
10 out of 10. That was really amazing.
10s across the board.
It makes me want to go outside.
Oh. Come on now. Let's get the latest in sports. Mosito Makura is standing by.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you so much, Tebogo. Very good afternoon from the Sports Desk. Now, the Confederation of African Football, as well as the local organising committee in Morocco, have officially launched the volunteer program for the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations tournament in Morocco. So that Africa Cup of Nations tournament will be staged between the 21st of December and this year until the 18th of January 2026 in 6 cities as well as 9 stadiums across Morocco. The CAF AFCON Morocco 2025 volunteer program registration period is now open until the 8th of October 2025. So those wishing to apply may also do so by going to the CAF website, that is www.cafonline.com, and anyone over the age of 18 years old can apply to be part of the volunteer program. Of course, the Africa Cup of Nations tournament is the premier Africa Cup of Nations tournament that always that happens on the African continent every 2 years. Back home now, South Africa's Football Association SAFA CEO Lekhuleni Mmatsheko says the focus now remains on winning the final 2 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. This despite a FIFA disciplinary case involving Bafana as well as midfielder Tebogo. SABC Sport broke the story yesterday that FIFA have officially now launched an investigation and opened, of course, disciplinary proceedings following Mokwena's appearance in a 2-0 victory over Lesotho earlier on in the year, despite the midfielder being under suspension. A guilty verdict could see the result overturned and a 3-0 win for Lesotho and 3 points deducted from Bafana's tally. But CEO Mmatsheko maintains that they've got their fate in their own hands.
Received confirmation from FIFA that they have they're investigating the matter, which is something that we've been waiting for a very long time. So it's now on the table and we are preparing our defense for that, and we need to be reverting to FIFA in the next couple of days. So all our attention is on that. We've got attorneys that have already been appointed to help us as well. So we are not really focus on that. I think for us it's a matter of ensuring that we get maximum points come October so that the team can qualify no matter what happens as far as this is concerned.
Meanwhile, a negative ruling would have a major implications for Group C and the log standings. At present, Hugo Bruce's men lead the table with 17 points, 3 behind Benin. A 3-point deduction would then see South Africa drop to second position on 14 points, level with Benin, but behind on goal difference. In anticipation of the case, SAFA have now assembled a high-powered legal team to mount the defence for both the association and Mokoena.
To Coach Hugo Bruce, it's about ensuring that we get maximum points come October. Anything else is a noise to us. Tebogo, Nigeria, whatever, it's noise to us. For us, it's about ensuring that the team remains focused, and we ensure that we get the points come October, because no matter what happens, whether FIFA docks the points or FIFA gives us whatever happens, we need to ensure that we are going to USA.
All right, further field now, Marcus Rashford scored twice as Barcelona kicked off their Champions League bid with a 2-0 victory, or rather 2-1 victory, away to Newcastle United. Now, Rashford was still looking for his first Barcelona goals following his July loan move from Manchester United, and he got off the mark by heading in a Julius Kounde's cross just before the hour mark at St. James Park. Now, the England international then doubled the Spanish champions lead with a ferocious right foot shot from outside the area, high into the top corner midway through the second half. And finally, something to look forward to this weekend. Kenya are hoping that legend Faith Kipyegon as well as Emmanuel Wanyoni will deliver 2 gold medals on the penultimate day of the World Athletics Championships on Saturday. And Kipyegon defends her title in the women's 5,000 meter final, while Wanyoni is looking to add world gold to his 800-meter Olympic crown. Now, the Olympic champion has carried that Paris Games form into the season, but the only question that remains is, of course, whether he has overdone his campaign. The 21-year-old, who many believe is now capable of breaking his compatriot David Rudisha's world record, was pushed all the way in the Diamond League final in Zurich in Switzerland just last month. So Kenya's women have meanwhile outshone their bitter rivals Ethiopia in distance races thus far at the championships, and on paper it is unlikely to change in the final tomorrow. So Saturday's likely sell-out crowd can feast on that battle between Kenyan duo of Beatrice Chebet as well as Kipyegon, as they now both seek a golden double at the World Championships. Well, that concludes the sports news this hour. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, remember to send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11714 4459. The time has just gone 14:36 p.m. Central African time. I'm back with a final sports update on the upside in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosito Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Africa. It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K
or more of our forests have been destroyed. Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
See, Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. Enjoy the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
37 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest now in business news. Buntle Hedbush is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Thanks very much, Tebogo, and a very good morning to our good afternoon rather to our listeners. In our top story at this hour, the Democratic Republic of Congo's Mines Ministry says it's considering an extension of its cobalt export ban, which was due to expire on Sunday, by at least 2 more months. This as officials work to finalize a quota system aimed at replacing the suspension. The ministry says they're also waiting for the price of cobalt to recover further and need more time to implement a quota-based framework. The ban was introduced to curb oversupply after prices of the metal fell to a 9-year low of around $10 per pound. Manganese exports and car shipments remain the key drivers for Transnet port terminals in South Africa's Eastern Cape province. A G20 roundtable discussion is underway in Gqeberha with Transnet, and this is one of the focal points on the table. Transnet's managing executive for Eastern Cape, Wandisa Vazi, says through its $29 million investment in Eastern Cape ports last year, 700 more people were employed.
It's very important for the Eastern Cape and not only for PE, and hence we've introduced manganese in East London as well. It's important to diversify the commodities that we have in the Eastern Cape. Eastern Cape is known for auto industry, and we've seen the challenges that auto industry is experiencing. But if we only focus on auto industry or citrus industry, because we've got farms around the Eastern Cape, we've got to bring another key commodity that is in demand globally. And hence we want to be the main exporter of the manganese.
Uganda's total public debt has risen 26.2% in the 2024-25 financial year as the government expanded its domestic borrowing to meet financing needs. A report by the country's finance ministry shows that the East African country's total public debt rose to $32.3 billion in the 12 months to June, up from $25.6 billion in the previous period. Uganda's public debt has been growing at an accelerated elevated rate in recent years as the government has increased spending on infrastructure projects in energy, transportation, and other sectors. President Cyril Ramaphosa says he's hopeful about progress in South Africa-US relations. Speaking to SABC News, Ramaphosa noted improved communication channels, especially since trade talks have begun to address recent US tariffs, although US President Donald Trump said he will not attend the Johannesburg G20 summit in November. Ramaphosa says he's invited him to accept the G20 presidency handover in person. Meanwhile, the president adds he will engage with various countries and enterprises to expand key markets.
The fact that formal negotiations have now started, and it's no longer, tweets and social media messages, it's now formal negotiations. People are in the White House talking about important issues of trade and all that. That for us is a great advance. It's a great progress forward. And we are hoping that those discussions will be well concluded.
Further afield, European Union finance ministers are looking to reach a common position today on how to set up a digital euro currency that could become an alternative to the now dominant US-based Visa and MasterCard systems. Discussions on creating a digital equivalent of the euro currency, now used in 20 European countries, have been going on for 6 years, but the debate heated up this year because the EU is now keen to reduce its dependence on other countries in key areas like energy, finance and defense. EU Economic Commissioner Valdis Dombrovskis has also stressed the need for Europe to have an independent payment system for online shopping as more and more businesses move to the internet so that they don't have to rely on foreign payment schemes. And now taking a look at the indicators, one US dollar in Nigeria is trading at 1,493 naira this afternoon. In Botswana, it's at 13 pula 11. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 39. And in Zambia, it's 23 kwacha 49. The BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 rial 30. Russia, 83 rubles 40. In India, it's 88 rupees 10. China, 7 yuan 10, and South Africa, $1 is trading at 17 rand 37 cents. $1 is trading at 73 pence to the British pound and 84 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,658 and platinum at $1,391 per ounce, while Brent crude oil is at $67.01 a barrel. And those are your business news. I'll be back with the final business bulletin in the next hour. For any business news stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Bontle Headbush.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Hi there. Do you want to elevate your business and give it a voice in South Africa and Africa as a whole? Well, in that case, let Channel Africa make this a possibility. Channel Africa is willing to advertise your business for as little as 30,000 rands or $1,719.18. To get access to these great rates, send all requests to mukwenata@SABC. That's MOKOENATA@SABC. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Let the upside transport you from Cape to Cairo every weekday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time. The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Let me send you my home address. Now your love can heal my stress. To the end of time, I gon' make you my wife, girl. I gon' make you my wife, girl. Give it to me, mama, mama. You drive me crazy, crazy, la la, la la. Inani fite tala, tala. Anye munganya waku chara, chara. Give it to me, mama, mama. You drive me crazy, crazy, la la, la la. Inani fite tala, tala. Anye munganya waku chara, chara. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy.
Come closer, oh my baby, wingora, wingora, nuiranza kuoza, penduva mendoza, gayo badi rancho koza okanye meza, jenda gachu tango tosa uranoza, inana sinaeza, imifungo jenda pesa.
Give it to me, mama, mama. You drive me crazy, crazy, la la, la la. Inani fite tala, tala. Anye munganya woku chara, chara. Give it to me, mama, mama. You drive me crazy, crazy, la la, la la. Inani fite tala, tala. Anye munganya woku chara, chara. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, don't keep me waiting. Nafata naga konji. Find some time to the twembi. To the twembi, yeah, yeah, yeah. Vinera gushiduka. Zinere gukanguka. Nizo shaka kwibuka. Nizo shaka kwibuka. Give it to me, mama, mama. You drive me crazy, crazy, la la, la la. Inani fite tala, tala. Anye munganya woku chara, chara. Give it to me, mama, mama. You drive me crazy, crazy, la la, la la. Inani fite tala, tala. Anye munganya woku chara, chara. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy. Baby, no more pretending, tendy. I just wanna see you bendy, bendy.
12 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African Time. Bendy is the name of the song. Alik Bulan and Vex Prince on that song.
Alik who?
Yeah?
Alik Bani. Say it.
You heard me say it.
No,
Alik Bulan. Bulan is his name.
Wow.
Well, that's how it's spelled here.
Wow.
I don't know what you... How do you pronounce that?
Let me see that. I need proof.
You see?
Bulan.
That's what I said.
You said
What's the difference? What's the difference?
I don't
Anyway.
even want to repeat how you said it.
No, I said it properly.
Wow.
Never
Wow.
mind. You see, now I'm conscious about how I pronounce the B. The B's. We've got What Caught Your Eye coming up next. And if you'd like to share what caught your eye today, let us know on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. What Caught Your Eye is coming up next.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine, weekdays 6 till 9.
Malawians go to the polls next week in a high-stakes general election where citizens will choose a new president and 229 members of parliament. And this comes 5 years after the country's 2019 election was annulled by the Constitutional Court due to widespread irregularities in a landmark decision that overturned the victory of the then President Peter Mutharika.
I'm not saying we're a perfect government. No, nobody is. I mean, we've seen even South Africa facing challenges with the fuel that's going up and with whatever challenges. But you know what? When you are dealing with an IMF policy that says do not employ so many people because you are going to become a welfare government and all of that. And Dr. Chakwera said I've got high numbers of unemployment. As a government that is answerable to Malawians, we have found IMF policies wanting on many issues. We believe the people who pay us taxes to put us in our positions, we owe them employment at the minimum.
That's Dr. Jesse Kwabila, who's the Minister of Higher Education in Malawi.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine. Hi there. Do you want to elevate your business and give it a voice in South Africa and Africa as a whole? Well, in that case, let Channel Africa make this a possibility. Channel Africa is willing to advertise your business for as little as 30,000 rands or $1,719.18. To get access to these great rates, send all requests to mukwenata@SABC. That's MOKOENATA@SABC. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
9 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African Time. It's time for What Caught Your Eye? So, what caught my eye is what a lot of people have been talking about lately, which is what's happening in the world of football. FIFA World Qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers, the Africa leg of it. And in particular focus is the team of South Africa, because they're on the verge of being fined by FIFA because they allowed Tebogo Mokoena to play in a game when he was ineligible to play back in March, and it was against Lesotho. He was ineligible to play because he had received 2 yellow cards in previous FIFA qualifier games, and by virtue of that, he was not allowed to play in that game against Lesotho. Okay, South Africa ended up winning that game. It was 2-0, and they have, as South Africa, they said, "Listen, yeah, we acknowledge that it was a blunder on our end. We should not have played them in that particular game." If they are found guilty, that's South Africa at the moment. They are top of their table, group number C, if I'm not mistaken. They are top of the table with Benin being number 2 with South Africa 17 points, the top of the table. Benin 14 points, second place, and I think Nigeria sitting on 11 points at third place, somewhere there. If they are found guilty, that match result could be overturned against South Africa. That 2-0 win could be overturned, and it might be converted to a 3-0 loss against South Africa. They will deduct their points, the 3 points that they got in that game. They would deduct them, and they potentially could also see fines or administrative sanctions for SAFA, the South African Football Association, or the team officials. Now, if they do deduct the points, 17 points minus 3, they'll be left with 14 points. And depending on the goal difference, that will then determine whether they are top of the table against Benin, who also have 14 points. Now, South Africa still have 2 more games to go in this qualifying round against Rwanda and who's the other team, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, they've got Rwanda and another team that they'll be playing. They need to win those games if they are to stand a chance to qualify for the World Cup next year. Now, I want the die-hard South African fans to tell me if this will change anything. I'm still of the belief that South Africa are going to qualify. They're going to end top of the table, and they're going to qualify for the World Cup. Is this going to affect those results and our ambition to qualify for the very first time for a World Cup? We've never qualified for a World Cup outside of automatically qualifying back in 2010 because we were the hosts. But this will be a historic one. So I want to know what you think is going to happen. Will it affect how they play? Because hearing all these things, points deducted, Nigeria could also qualify if the points are deducted, if Benin lose, if Benin win, so many, now you're doing calculations. I still think South Africa are going to be top of the table and automatically qualify for the World Cup. But let us know what you think on our social media platform. What do you think? Is it going to cause some, instability within the team? Hearing all these things happening, they should be just focusing on the game, not all these weird sanctions.
Well, it is political sports, isn't it? I don't know. I think if the late great Phumlani Msibi were to say to me, "Thoughts, please," I would literally be a deer in headlights because I have nothing to say. But I guess you can't separate the politics from the good sport, can you?
Well,
you can't.
Well,
and sometimes they bring them onto the pitch, and that's why they perform the way they do.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that they must focus on the game. The upcoming games have got just here to clarify. They've got Zimbabwe and Rwanda coming up next. The last two games. I still think they're going to end up at the top of the table, even if those points get deducted. And fair enough, they were in the wrong as South Africa to have fielded Tebogo Mokoena in that game when he was not supposed to. And fair enough, they've admitted to it. Yes, punish them, deduct the points if you need to. But let's see how it plays out. I still think they will end at the top of the table. That's my prediction anyway. What caught your eye?
Well, what caught my eye is the fact that I'm loving that podcasts can become a form of iconography. What does that mean in English? That means that there is a podcast series that's out to celebrate the life of Fela Kuti. And also, I think it's just timely considering the fact that we will be celebrating the old man's birthday or birth anniversary, as I love to call it, on the 15th? He was born on the 15th of October in the 30s, 36 if memory serves me correctly. And there's a gentleman by the name of Jad Ubamrat. He is a radio host. He's a man of the music. He's a composer from the States. And he has come up with a series that he calls Fela Kuti Fear No Man podcast that he created. And he's going to be launching it actually around Fela Kuti's birthday and the 25th Felabration Festival that's going to be coming up as well. So this, as I understand it, is going to offer a deep and nuanced exploration of the Afrobeat pioneer's life. So the music, the legacy, his life, all of it in a podcast. I really like that direction, and that we can use podcasts beyond what we are seeing, just on the ground, really using them to keep the flame alive, using them as a form of iconography, as I said. So it's featuring over 200 interviews with family, with friends, fellow musicians like Burna Boy, and cultural figures as well. I believe Barack Obama is going to be part of this series as well. And the series is also going to be delving into Fela's complex persona as a revolutionary artist who used his groundbreaking Afrobeat sound to challenge corruption, military rule, and social injustice in his homeland of Nigeria. And the podcast also captures both his bold activism and personal contradictions, highlighting how his art became a powerful form of resistance and remained influential today. I was hoping that as I was going through that I would get a sense of, something about his wives. It would be so nice to hear the story of the wives and how they felt living in one house. How many were there? Like 20 of them? 20 wives.
It was a lot.
It was a lot, yeah.
In one house.
It was two-digit number of wives.
It was over 20, yeah. Right.
In the house.
In one house.
It would be so wonderful to tackle that. Not just his persona, but his personal life was so juicy and very interesting. And he married them all at the same time, and then he divorced them all. at the same time. Oh my goodness, that would not happen in this day and age. I can tell you that for free. With the feminist wave that we're seeing right now, they would come after Fela Kuti like nothing else. But I am looking forward to the work of Jad Ubamrat. I have lots of tremendous respect for him, and I think that he's going to do this particular podcast a lot of good justice.
Immortalizing legends through podcasts. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It is very cool.
I love that. We need more of that. It's 3 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get the latest in news. Onelen Sinzi standing by.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Looking at your top stories, France suspends counter-terrorism cooperation with Mali, and Mozambique hawkers met with challenges at the Libombo border post. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. France has suspended counter-terrorism cooperation with Mali and has ordered 2 staff members of the Malian embassy and consulate to leave. Reuters reports that the move came after Bamako's arrest of a French intelligence agent in August. A spokesperson for Mali's foreign ministry has declined to comment. The move further exacerbates tension between Paris and the West African country after Mali's military government severed military ties with France and turned to Russia for support in fighting ISIS-linked insurgents. The U.S. Embassy has refused to sign a memorandum of understanding that was presented to them by organizations from Eswatini, which included the Swaziland Youth Congress and the People's United Democratic Movement that marched to the embassy earlier. The group marched to the U.S. Embassy in protest against reports of a $500 million deal between King Mswati III and the United States to house convicted U.S. criminals in Eswatini. They say their country is being treated like a dumping site and the deal violates the country's sovereignty. Phumlani Nxumalo is the Deputy President of the Swaziland Youth Congress.
A number of more than 150 are still yet to come. So we are trying to raise to the African about imperialism, which is now using Eswatini to attack the southern part of Africa. So the reason we came here is to voice our grievances because we understand the implications that comes with this deal. So ours is to try to raise awareness, pull the southern African people and to the embassy that we are actually not part of this, and we are all aggrieved just that it's a deal between the Eswatini government and the US.
South Africa's National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Shamila Patohi, has hailed the Madlanga Commission underway in the capital, Pretoria, as a good move for the country. The commission was established following corruption allegations made by the KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi within the criminal justice system. Patohi says they are ready to testify if called to the commission.
If we want to get the best out of this commission, we must be prepared to testify. Not just me as the National Director, certainly Advocate Johnson as well as the head of the Investigating Directorate is prepared to testify. We are keeping track of the evidence that's being led. And if there are other members of the NPA that needs to testify, we'll all testify and assist the Commission in coming to the correct conclusions.
South Africa's Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development, Mamuluko Kubai, says the government is prioritizing the rollout of an integrated people's management system designed to trace criminals who are difficult to track in South Africa. Kubai was speaking during a media roundtable by the Justice, Crime Prevention and Security Cluster and Brand South Africa at the Nelson Mandela Foundation in Johannesburg. The engagement forms part of the government's efforts to communicate key successes in fighting crime and building safer communities where South Africans feel protected. Kubai says the system will enhance the ability of police officers to trace offenders more efficiently.
So we've taken a decision yesterday that we will sit as the cluster on the 25th to look at how we roll out fast. We said to Minister Kachalia, we want to see this roll out as soon as possible to all the police stations because it will help us to track all these criminals and reduce people that we can't find.
Lastly, hawkers from Mozambique who frequently cross the border to buy goods in South Africa are accusing the security cluster at the Libombo border post in the Mpumalanga province of extortion. They say this happens even when they submit all required documents to border officials. The Border Management Authority has meanwhile acknowledged that there are still challenges at the Libombo border post. BMA Commissioner Mike Masiapato.
Is that the border environment, unfortunately, even as we inherited the work and we inherited the environment, there has been a lot of challenges relating to corruption. Particularly as the Border Management Authority to be able to start dealing with some of these inherent problems. Section 13.3 of the Border Management Authority gives us an authority to make sure that every official goes through a vetting process. We have started some work together with State Security Agency to make sure that our colleagues are enrolled through into a vetting process, which is also going to enable us to be able to deal with the issues.
Recapping on your top stories, France has suspended counter-terrorism cooperation with Mali and has ordered 2 staff members of the Malawian embassy and consulate to leave. Reuters reports that the move came after Bamako's arrest of a French intelligence agent in August. Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Tsinsi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
It's 6 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time, and it's the final hour of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, The African Perspective with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. We're still live on our social media platform. That means you can stream us. Check out our lovely studio at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. If you have DSTV, it's channel 802. As always, you can download that SABC Plus app on your Android or your iOS device so you can take us with you wherever you go. And if you'd like to revisit some of our conversations, please go to www.channelafrica.co.za. Fun conversation coming up next, because we'll be joined by, he's changed his name. It's no longer Jazz Works, it's Jazz World now, and vocalist Togutela. They'll be joining us live in studio to tell us more about their latest album, The Most Wanted. That's the name of the album, The Most Wanted. And people have been wanting this album for the longest time. They launched it last night. It was quite the spectacle, and we can't wait to delve into what we can expect from the album itself, because I said earlier, out of the 10 top South African songs right now, 4 of them are from Jazzworks and Togutela. How incredible is that?
That sounds epic. And also, words are spells. He changed his name because he knew that would have impact. And then he said, Most Wanted is what we're going to title the album. So it sounds pretty exciting. It sounds like the summer.
And also sounds like he's trying to go worldwide with that name change.
Oh, he's not trying. Listen, he has solidified his position in the world.
I've created quite a few videos on TikTok, quite a few, but there are 1 or 2 that stand out. And the reason they stand out is because of the song, the music that I picked for that particular video.
Right.
There's one video that stands out right now by Jazz World and Togutela. The name of that song is Bengicela, featuring Mahu. And when I tell you, it's one of my favorite videos of all time. I created a couple of weeks ago, And it's one of those videos when you create it, you're like, this is why I do what I do. This is why I do. This is why I create content. This right here. And it's the song that made it. It's the song that made it.
Wow,
so today, I am what a privilege it's going to be to hang out with them, and hopefully I will show them this video and see what it did.
You have to show you have to show the upside the video as well, because I'm
send
sure
it, so
they would love to see it.
I must send it to the team so we can see it.
Yeah, the upside, I would love to see it. So it's going to be a great hangout, and that's such a beautiful story. Just a fine example of the impact of the music, and perhaps you've heard the music too and would like to share. If you happen to catch this broadcast live, you're welcome to do so by commenting on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Just search for Channel Africa. We really are everywhere. Everywhere you go, we are there.
Oh, well, that's that other one.
No.
That's the yellow one.
That's us, but African perspective wise.
10 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside.
Parlez-vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et votre 3 minutes démo en MP3 à @channelafrica.co.za pour avoir une chance de rejoindre la famille Channel Africa. Si vous n'avez pas de réponse après 14 jours, cela signifie que vous n'avez pas été retenu. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine. Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
If it's news and current affairs, leading opinions, and thought leaders that get your groove, this is your home, The Upside. The Upside, live and real. Channel Africa, #1 with information worldwide. The Upside, live and real. The Upside, live and real.
I'm tempted to just say Oh man, what a good song. What a banger.
What a banger.
So good. Okay, so it is, I think you would do it more
Isaga.
justice.
Well, it's Isaga by Jazz World now,
Yes.
formerly Jazz Works, and Utuktela featuring SZA on that one. And before that, we had Bengicela featuring Mahu,
So good.
also Jazz World on that one. And wow.
Absolutely. And I was saying to you off air, they're not, it's not loud, it's not let's go to a party, but you still do want to have a good time listening to this music.
100%.
Hey? So there's levels to this.
So
Love it.
I want to show you why that particular song, the first one, why it made me so emotional. Because it made a video that I created on TikTok stand out. It made me proud to be a content creator. All right, and reminded me why I'm doing it.
Yeah, look, we need to see this video. Okay, right. It's at who is it on TikTok?
We're gonna see it now.
Okay.
We're gonna see it now on air. But we're gonna take a quick breather. Let's take a quick breather. When we come back, I'll show you that video. Then maybe you too can understand my emotions.
Nkhanza zokhudza amuna ndi azimayi kapena kuti gender based violence GBV zikuononga mioyo komanso kuphwasula midzi zikuchitika m'manyumba, m'masukulu, malo ogwirira ntchito ndipo kwambiri mwakachetechete koma sizikuyenera kupitirira. Mukazimva yankhulani, ngati mwakhuzidwa funani chithandizo chifukwa kusachita chilichonse sikuthandiza. Mverani kuma wireless onse 14 a SABC kuchokera lachitatu pa 23 mwezi uno wa Julai kuti mumve zokambirana, malangizo, masewero, zionetsero za maphunziro ndi mafunso okhuza nkhanza za amuna ndi azimayi ndi akatswiri, anthu opulumuka ku nkhanzazi, kukhazikitsa lamulo komanso dziko lonse lokhuzidwa ndi nkhanzazi. Zonsezi pa wireless yomwe mumayikonda ya SABC. Imbirani pa nambala 0800 428 428 kuti munene za nkhanzazi kapena kupeza chithandizo. Nkhanza zokhuza amuna ndi azimayi zimatha ndi inu. Uthenga ukufikani kuchokera ku SABC.
The Upside with Lekhuleni. The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Lekhuleni and Mosito. Only on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
All right, 25 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Are you ready to see that video?
I would love to because I've watched many of your videos, if not most of your videos.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So it would be nice to jog my memory because, yeah,
like I said, as part of content creation, we create quite a few videos. So many stand out, right? But there's one or two that particularly stand out because they remind you why you're doing what you're doing, why you're creating the content. Everything just lines up, right? And it's the song, for the most part, for me, it's the music, it's the song that makes the video. Yes, the visuals are quite stunning and quite cool to look at, but the song brings the emotion, brings the visuals together where you can physically see yourself in that particular space. And that, for me, is everything.
That's
so
golden.
check out my video. You can follow me on social media. On TikTok is where I'm most active. It's at City Break Cribs. Actually, my underscore is actually at Tebogo _excellent. But if you search City Break Cribs, you'll find my video. So check out this video and why this song made it.
Such a beautiful video. Scenic.
Oh my goodness.
Like our producer was saying, Nzako, that I love the video. It makes me want to travel.
That's the goal, isn't
That
it?
that is the goal.
Yeah, just to give people access that there are certain experiences that are not reserved for a select few. But sometimes exposure is what we need. If we can see that it is affordable, we can also do safari experiences. It's not for the elect few. It's not 10 hours away. There are safari experiences very close to you. Here I am now selling my city break cribs, but you can check me out on social media. It's at Tebogo_excellent, or just simply search city break cribs. But it's that song that made it, and hopefully, not hopefully, we're going to be joined by Jazz Works, Jazz World, and Tuktela in a few minutes' time, and then I can fanboy properly with them in the studio. I think that's going to be cool.
It's going to be so cool, and look, we're getting an exclusive, and you're also getting an exclusive. So make sure that you don't miss this one. We're talking about South Africa's finest here, okay? We're not just talking about anybody. So we're going to get some wonderful exclusives in terms of just some of the other work that they have been working on that form part of this brand new album. Kana, what's it called? Most Wanted.
The Most Wanted.
The Most
Wanted.
In demand.
It's already the album of the year for some people.
Of course. I mean,
come on now.
Listen, arguably, but definitely right up there in the top 3.
So, like I said, the top songs, this is the weekly music chart, and I'm looking specifically at Spotify at the moment. The top 20, from the top 20, 7 of the songs are Jazz World and Tuktela. At number 2, Uvalo. I'm sure you've also heard it on TikTok, featuring Dlala Tukzin. And then we've got Bengicela at number 3. And then you've got Isaga, we just heard that one. And then you have Uzizwa
Isaga's
Kanjani.
my favorite. Oh my goodness, I'm obsessed.
Uzizwa Kanjani. I know that one is your favorite, right? They've got so many songs. That's 4 in the top 10. And they've been dominating week in, week out on the South African charts. And I love it. All right, it's 30 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest in sports with Musibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
And a very good afternoon from the sports desk. World as well as Olympic champion Jacob Ingebrigtsen rebounded from failing to make the 1,000-meter final by safely advancing to the final on the 5,000 meter at the World Championships in Tokyo earlier today. And the Norwegian was left punching the air as he crossed the line in 8th place in the second of the 2 heats, with the top 8 qualifying for the final on Sunday. So coming into the championships, Ingebrigtsen had laid low, should I say, with an Achilles injury that saw him miss most of the outdoor season. He picked up his injury after completing a rare world indoor double over the 105,000 as well as the 3,000 meter in China in March of this year. On to football news now. Marcus Rashford scored twice as Barcelona kicked off their Champions League bid for a 2-0 victory over Newcastle United away from home. Now Rashford was looking for his first Barcelona goals following his July loan move from Manchester United, and he got off the mark by heading in Julius Kounde's cross just before the hour mark at St. James Park. Now the England international then doubled the Spanish Champions League with a ferocious right foot shot from outside of the area, high into the top corner midway through the second half to double the lead and ensure the victory for the former champions Barcelona. Back home now, South Africa's Football Association CEO Lida Muyabao says the focus now remains on winning the final 2 FIFA 2026 World Cup qualifiers, despite a FIFA disciplinary case involving Bafana Bafana and midfielder Tebogo Mokoena. SABC Sport broke the news yesterday that FIFA has officially now opened disciplinary proceedings following Mokwena's appearance in a 2-0 victory over Lesotho earlier on in the year, despite the midfielder being suspended for that match. A guilty verdict could see the result overturned to a 3-0 win for Lesotho and 3 points deducted from Bafana Bafana's tally. Let's hear now from the CEO to Lydia Munyapao.
Received confirmation from FIFA that they have they're investigating the matter, which is something that we've been waiting for a very long time. So it's now on the table, and we are preparing our defense for that. And we need to be reverting to FIFA in the next couple of days. So all our attention is on that. We've got attorneys that have already been appointed to help us as well. So we are not really focus on that. I think for us it's a matter of ensuring that we get maximum points come October so that the team can qualify no matter what happens as far as this is concerned.
Meanwhile, a negative ruling would have major implications for the Group C standings. At present, Bafana currently lead the group on 17 points, 3 ahead of Benin. A 3-point deduction would then see South Africa drop to second on 14 points, level with Benin, but will then be in second position because of a minor goal difference. In anticipation of the case, SAFA have now assembled a high-powered legal team to mount a defence for both the association and Mokoena.
To Coach Hugo Bruce, it's about ensuring that we get maximum points come October. Anything else is a noise to us. Tebogo, Nigeria, whatever, it's noise to us. But it's about ensuring that the team, remains focused, and we ensure that we get the points come October, because no matter what happens, whether FIFA docks the points or FIFA, gives us whatever happens, we need to ensure that we are going to USA.
And finally, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, as well as the local organising committee in Morocco have officially launched the official volunteer program for the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations tournament in Morocco this year. So the Cup of Nations tournament will be staged between the 21st of December 2025 and the 18th of January 2026 in 6 cities, as well as 9 stadiums across Morocco. Now, the CAF AFCON Morocco 2025 volunteer program registration period will open until the 8th of October 2025, and those wishing to apply may do so by going onto the CAF online website, that is www.cafonline.com, and anyone over the age of 18 can apply to be part of this volunteer program. Well, that concludes your sports news this afternoon on The Upside. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11714 4459. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosito Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.
Hifadhi kubwa ya dhahabu, madini adimu na madini ya msingi yameweza kugunduliwa katika wilaya ya Luamo na eneo pana la Karamoja. Hii taarifa ikoje?
Ni kweli ni kwamba uchunguzi ulifanywa kwa muda wa miaka 5 na ugunduzi ni kwamba umeweza kupelekea nchi kupata ufanisi mkubwa hasa katika utajiri wa madini hapa nchini Uganda.
Tumekuwa tuna madini katika bara la Afrika, lakini yamekuwa madini haya hayatunufaishi au kutusaidia kwa namna moja ama nyingine, na tumeendelea kuwa maskini. Unadhani nini kifanyike?
Kubwa katika yote ni kwamba serikali inatakiwa kutoa mkakati mzuri utakaoweza kuwanufaisha kwanza raia wake.
Darubini ya Afrika kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa kuanzia saa 11 kamili hadi saa 12 kamili jioni majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802.
36 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the final business updates this afternoon on The Upside. Buntle Headbush is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thanks, Tebogo. Good afternoon. And our final look at the business news this afternoon. Nigeria is considering appointing the state regulator to take control of the country's existing oil contracts rather than the state oil company. This is according to a draft legislative amendment which the Nigerian Attorney General says is necessary because some provisions of the country's 2021 Petroleum Industry Act have created structural and legal channels through which substantial oil revenues of the country are being diverted away from its account. The Act empowers the NNPC to represent the country's interests in a variety of commercial oil contracts. Kenya's Trade Minister Lee Kinyanjui says the country expects to conclude a trade deal with the United States by year end. This would cushion the country's exports to a key market if an existing regional trade agreement that expires this month is not renewed. If a deal is reached with the US, it would be the first of its kind between a sub-Saharan African country and Washington. Manganese exports and car shipments remain the key drivers for Transnet port terminals in South Africa's Eastern Cape province. A G20 roundtable discussion is underway in Gqeberha with Transnet, and this is one of the focal points on the table. Transnet's managing executive for Eastern Cape, Wandisa Vazi, says through its $29 million investment in Eastern Cape ports last year, 700 more people were employed.
It's very important for the Eastern Cape and not only for PE, and hence we've introduced manganese in East London as well. It's important to diversify the commodities that we have in the Eastern Cape. Eastern Cape is known for auto industry, and we've seen the challenges that auto industry is experiencing. But if we only focus on auto industry or citrus industry, because we've got farms around the Eastern Cape, we've got to bring another key commodity that is in demand globally. And hence we want to be the main exporter of the manganese.
President Cyril Ramaphosa says he's hopeful about progress in South Africa-US relations. Speaking to SABC News, Ramaphosa noted improved communication channels, especially since trade talks have begun to address recent US tariffs. Although US President Donald Trump said he will not attend the Johannesburg G20 summit in November, Ramaphosa says he's invited him to accept the G20 presidency handover in person. Meanwhile, the president adds he will engage with various countries and enterprises to expand key markets.
The fact that formal negotiations have now started, and it's no longer, tweets and social media messages, it's now formal negotiations. People are in the White House talking about important issues of trade and all that. That for us is a great advance. It's a great progress forward. And we are hoping that those discussions will be well concluded.
European Union finance ministers are looking to reach a common position today on how to set up a digital euro currency that could become an alternative to the now dominant US-based Visa and MasterCard systems. Discussions on creating a digital equivalent of the euro currency, now used in 20 European countries, have been going on for 6 years. But the debate heated up this year because the EU is now keen to reduce its dependence on other countries in key areas like energy, finance and defence. EU Economic Commissioner Valdis Dombrovskis has also stressed the need for Europe to have an independent payment system for online shopping as more and more businesses move to the internet so that they don't have to rely on foreign payment schemes. And now taking a look at the indicators, $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,493 naira. In Botswana, it's 13 pula 11. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 39. And in Zambia, it's 23 kwacha 49. Moving to the BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 real 30. Russia, 83 rubles 40. In India, it's 88 rupees 10. China, 7 yuan 10, and South Africa, $1 is trading at 17 rand 37 cents. $1 is trading at 73 pence to the British pound and 84 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,658 per ounce, platinum $1,391 per ounce, while Brent crude oil is at $67.01 a barrel. And that's your final business bulletin for this afternoon. I'll be back with the indicators in the next hour. For any business news stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Buntle Hetbush.
Business news on Channel Africa. the African perspective. The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
All right, it's 42 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome back to The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. We're still coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. And finally, we've got our guests. We've got our guests. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. Give them a warm upside welcome. We've got Jazz World and Toktela in the building. We're closing off the show, but we're doing it on a high note this afternoon. We are joined by two music giants. Jazz World, formerly Jazz Wax, and he will tell us why. He will tell us why. What happened? We want to know. Alongside the vocalist Toktela, they've just released one of the most anticipated debut albums of the year. It's called The Most Wanted, and already it's making waves for its rich sound, powerful storytelling, and the kind of collaboration that doesn't just push boundaries, it redefines them. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Welcome to The Upside. Ninjan Buffett, how are you guys doing? Can't complain. Let's do proper introductions first, because people know Jazz Wax. Mm-hmm. And maybe let's start off with your proper government names, so that people know who we're talking to. When we're talking about Jazz World, your name and your surname, and then we'll go to you, Toktela, and then you'll tell us what happened to the Jazz Wax. Now you are Jazz World. So let's start with intros.
Okay, Nayikamwelo Munise, all the way from Carltonville, aka Jazz World. Yeah, izinto sedishintshile vele.
All right.
Producer behind Voga Saga usizwa kanjani bengicela. Dingata.
There are many. Plenty. And Toktela?
Yeah, this is Toktela bafethu. Mfana nje umnandi wasekasi Davidson. Bangazi ngokhotse lokushini ukhotso Dube. Abaningi bangibiza ngoDube uma bangibona. You know, vocalist vele intwana eshanje isaka liyavuka ziningi nje
so good. Tell us the story then. You were formerly Jazz Wax, now you are Jazz World. What inspired the change? What inspired the rebranding? What happened there?
Braga watsa ha o le motho ne ke ntwe ke nana go etsa ba go fela tshwantse o tshintshana go ntse wa bona via or like wa bona no se ke le motho lo dila ka di event a ke sa focus the music fela wa bona. And other thing like to ke plan go etsa di event go ntle out of the country wa bona. Yeah, international wa bona. So ke nana go le bitso le as le Jazz World little for batho idea ya go vele ntwana isa limited wa bona.
You are no longer local.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So basically what you're telling us is that you're going international, and hence the name change from Jazz Works to Jazz World. I mean, the name speaks for itself. I want to know how Carltonville and Davidson get to meet. Those are worlds apart, like Lekopane Joang. How did you meet? How did you get together and find like brotherhood in music?
Actually kopane ka Braneo.
McFarlane.
Okay.
Yeah, McFarlane le Tasandile, shout out. Obon Taneo o ka le foster na pele obon. Am pizza go spana. Unfortunately no sna di vocalist obon. Mara pusha o sna ntwe hlakana. A ke tsebo kopane ka ile ntwana. A re la ntshela lo ntwana engwe eko Davidson shapa vocal engwe bese re ithole hi wabona a fihla lena vele a fihla bontlong ntwana ka qala ka mocava exe show ha mnati ha moja ka la vele ka connect wabona wabona ke ntwana sharp vele le studio ke yabona ntwana vele mnati wabona vele ka etsa ntwe sharp till today.
Nice.
Yeah,
very good. So you met and through other connections, but already the musical chemistry was there between the two.
Yeah, besnalento le ukuthi
yeah.
inja yami le ngiyayifrostana.
Yeah.
And I think besinalento efamily mina naye sithanda
Yeah.
sethu so like sithanda music oyi-one, sithanda i-vibe eyi-one, sithanda ukwenza izinto eziyi-one. Noma sihleka, that's why nisibona sihleka draw. Yasikitaza ngendlela yethu.
But also, what a lot of people don't seem to realize, and I was saying earlier that of the top 10 songs in South Africa, weekly songs, I'm looking at Spotify right now, you are featuring 4 times there. Of the top 27 of your songs are on there. What the people don't realize is that you didn't meet that long ago. It's like just over a year.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you guys have been on this forever,
Yeah.
right? And so it means that you guys understand each other, you understand the music that you want to put out there. How does it feel being the music of social media? I know I'm exaggerating, but you are the music of TikTok. Go to TikTok now, Bengicela, Isaga, all of them. How does it feel being recognized globally on such a platform through your music?
Sizirelaxele yabona thina
Sizirelaxele nje.
Asifuna ukuyithatha ngale nhliziyo ukuthi vele sifuna ukuba yilabo kufana labo ukuthi manje we trying to be like this, like sithanda lifestyle the way ngakhona. Noma uzodibana nathi kasinje la just and so
like akikethi robot.
But the role
is so humble.
I love that. But the role of social media, has it boosted those numbers on the chart? Has it helped your careers because people are recognizing and appreciating it on social media? Has it done something?
Too much.
Especially
like too
international
much.
jazz,
Yeah,
internationally. Masingale nje sabo Chris Brown.
I love it.
Kenya, Nairobi, Lagos, France. Lalela.
Bonjour.
Lalela, bonjour.
I love it. Guys, you are so amazing. We're going to take just a small break, but when we come back, I really want us to just talk about like where the music actually comes from. Like, do you come from a musical family? Especially when I took Taylor, because what you do on the music, it's just so good. It's so good. Okay, we're going to take a break, and we've got the 2 gentlemen still in studio with us.
Thank God.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine, weekdays 6 till 9.
Malawians go to the polls next week in a high-stakes general election where citizens will choose a new president and 229 members of parliament. And this comes 5 years after the country's 2019 election was annulled by the Constitutional Court due to widespread irregularities in a landmark decision that overturned the victory of the then President Peter Mutharika.
I'm not saying we're a perfect government. No, nobody is. I mean, we've seen even South Africa facing challenges with the fuel that's going up and with whatever challenges. But you know what? When you are dealing with an IMF policy that says do not employ so many people because you are going to become a welfare government and all of that. And Dr. Chakwera said I've got high numbers of unemployment. As a government that is answerable to Malawians, we have found IMF policies wanting on many issues. We believe the people who pay us taxes to put us in our positions, we owe them employment at the minimum.
That's Dr. Jesse Kwabila, who's the Minister of Higher Education in Malawi.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine. Whatever you want to hear about today's talk, you can get it on the Upside.
What an honor, what a blessing it is for us to be hanging out with hitmakers, Jazz World, formerly Jazz Wex, and Tokutela. Yesterday, you had a proper launch of The Most Wanted, the album. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Give us your top 3 songs. Your top 3 songs. There are songs that we love, right? We heard it on social media. You sing it on the charts. Voga, Uvalo, Bengicela, what? There's so many songs. But if I asked you what your top 3 songs are, Jazz, and asked you, Tuktel, what your top 3 songs are from the collaboration that you guys have, which ones would they be?
Voga.
Sure.
Kisaga.
Sure.
Kitologuti.
Tolokut.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's else 3?
All right.
Kifaka
Jazz.
Yabona le album ngilithanda ngenye indlela engakaze ngiyibone.
Don't be diplomatic. We just need 3. Don't be diplomatic.
Okay. Phakamisa izandla phezulu.
Okay.
Tsingibone. Vuka.
Of course. Okay. Nice.
Usizwa kanjani?
There we go.
I love it. So, I mean, you can both answer this, but where does the music come from? Like, did it start in the church, or did it just start like in the streets with friends? You know, we used to have this thing where it was just so popular to start a music group just as an activity. So, where did the music start for you?
I mean, I know just ne stories ngafani.
Okay.
Yeah, it's ngafani so music.
Okay,
sharp. Yeah. Nami nginabangani abathanda amakhwaya. Mara mina ikhwaya ngiyithandi. Angiyithandi nje ikhwaya yangihlula.
We can't tell with your vocals that
Yeah. Okay. Sharp ke. Ngadibana nomunye umngani wami ahleli naye nje etafuleni sihleli same desk.
Okay.
Engithola lentwana le ibhala amanye amaphepha amade nje ngithi endoda yini manje uhleli nami ubhaya amapoem usobhala amapoem manje.
Oh, okay.
Kwenzakalani? Athi hayi wena ngizokushaya wena. Ngizokulimaza ngento ongayazi amaverse lawo. Shaya ngizwe lamaverse. Ayishaya. Ayifana lento ngathi mnandi.
Wow.
Amalanga aloku alandelana and lo muntu ngishare naye i-desk every day.
Wow.
So nami ngigcina vele sengi-addicted nalento ukuthi ifana ngathi ngizoshaya nama uyaphi after school. Asa, atayi. Ngindoda ngine studio ndoda ngithini leyo ngizokulimaza.
That's an interesting way.
First time yamukuzwa i-delay ukuthi ivoice yami yakhona uphinda phinda. Azange aphinde ngastop ukuthanda music. Ngawuthanda since ever 2016 until ngaze ngadibana no jazz. Yeah.
All right.
Until ngadibana no jazz.
Interesting story. Jazz and your journey?
Ndabraga ngake kona ke batho bana ba rata music especially ma hot manaka wabona nela batho ba rata sound blind wabona ke tswa sigela ku vele ke ntwele vele wabona like every day no le bazana sound so obvious sanzo le ntwana ukulela mo ba rata sound lwena o tsena o e rata lwena nje wabona till hana kontse ke thola radio ke thola chance go ke buy laptop wabona ke thola chance go ke buy laptop then ka qala ka install the software ka bona ke hlakantsha ile wabona because honestly speaking ona mthanga ngudile wabona ke ntwe la fika mo ngqondweni yaka nema ozame boy wabona kanti ka vele tla
if you're born for it you're going to find yourself in it and the rest is history. How did the collaborations come about with Abo Oscar Mbo, Abo Mahu? Those are big names.
Arikalega Oscar govuka re shapile instrumental ne re shaya then re romela skeleton sa project aya kenya ntho tsa dikenya then I jigisa ka iqetella then yabasha
that's it. The rest was history.
The rest ilaba movie.
The rest was a movie. I love it.
Aye.
Listen, please, on behalf of me and the other female collective, please sing something for us, Buti. Like we're just asking very nicely. Okay? There are women listening in Namibia, there are women listening in Zambia, there are women listening in Malawi. Something, give us.
Yehlisa umoya ngisendleleni ngiyofuna lo yonke into ifunayo ngivele nkuleyo dala ngithandana nalo sesenguye lo.
Very nice.
Come on.
Yes, you would have made such a wonderful chorister. Actually. Soprano, backing alto, somewhere there. You know? Yes,
Tell us about it.
Talk to us
The
about
most
that.
wanted. How many songs are on there? Collaborations. What can we look forward to for those who are going on Spotify, all streaming platforms, and they're coming across it today? What can they look forward to on that album? Hey, don't be shy. It's your babies. How it's your babies? This one.
indaba le-album personally because they explain kakhulu like mina no Jazz. Like we've been trying to hustle and like sizama ukuba out there and so on. Wonke umuntu beyanga believe ukuthi singayenza lento and so on. So masiyenza manje so album masikhuluma ngalo indlela beyinde.
It's an emotional one.
Vele most of the emotional.
So much. Yeah.
You know, and for most people, they're already saying it's the album of the year. Already album of the year. I want to play a quick game of chance with you, gentlemen. I want to see if the odds are in your favor. And it's a quick game. It's a quick game.
Like you get ready.
It's a quick game. I've got a deck of cards in my hands, and all I want to know from you is if the card I'm about to reveal is black or red. It's that simple.
Let's go.
Black or red. All right. Who's the most competitive between the two?
You go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, we're gonna do one quick round. Jazz World, black or red?
Red.
Pick the card and show the camera. Take the first one. The first one at the top. You said red. Is it red? Red. Show the camera. It is a red. All right. 1 point for you. Tuktel, black or red?
King of Hearts.
Here we go. And all right. Clearly the odds are in Jazz World's favor. Are there any tours, what can we look forward to from you guys from the release of this album? Are we going to see you live on stage? Anything planned like that?
Yeah, so far unal event outdoor works 28 September.
Okay.
Yeah, ke yona ntwe lo like re focus mo yona right now. Yeah, lo re push album. So far I plan on next like musically re to push album. Re bona e fela ka.
Love that.
Okay. Guys, thank you so much. So where is the event happening? You're talking about an event on the 28th of September.
Oh yeah. Go for Slogas.
Okay. East Rand.
I think Kausan. Yeah, Kausan.
Kenya tomorrow.
Yeah, Kenya.
Wow.
Yeah, Kenya Kausan.
Yeah, we fully booked there. So something like lingana nenyanga or like angazi so
wow, guys.
Was out there.
Masingala
kusabuyeki, masibuya kuyaliwa. Asesifuna
You are worldwide. Now you are officially worldwide.
I know why.
Where can they find you on social media very quickly as we wrap up the show?
Tell us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Zonke. They're fun.
Jazz Works on Facebook, Jazz Works on Instagram.
Jazz World now.
Yeah, I change.
Oh, you haven't changed it?
Yeah,
Okay.
for now, like I change more social media, guys. I will change as soon as possible. All right. Yeah, Jazz Works on TikTok, on Twitter, Jazz Works 1.
All right, gentlemen, it's been an honor. Thank you so much for your time. All the best. Take your sound to the whole world. We love it. We love it for you. It's 4 p.m. Central African time. African Business is coming up next, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning into The Upside. We'll do this again next week. Same time, same place. Bye-bye.